Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Travis Chen. Tim has the evening off. Well, it's been a sunny week here in Siouxland, but conditions have quickly changed with rain, strong winds, and even some snow possible heading into the weekend. Chief Meteorologist Victor Perez tells us more as he tracks that system. It's our top story at 5.
Well, Siouxland, we've seen that conditions across the region have been cloudier throughout the daytime, and earlier we saw the beginning of some showers and storms out to our east that have since moved a little bit further north, as we'll see that the looping radar here shows conditions that have shown severe thunderstorms already beginning to encroach upon the viewing area as we take a look right now as we see these storms out to our south with the denser clouds. There's that system that I mentioned earlier that passed through from portions of Woodbury into Plymouth County, but we see the storms beginning to make headway through the Omaha metro and out to our east, just outside of the viewing area in Carroll County, as we see a marginal, slight, and enhanced severe thunderstorm potential across the viewing area. And we've even now prompted severe thunderstorm watches that will be in effect until 10 p.m. tonight. And we also have the beginnings of some severe thunderstorm warnings to our south, covering that is portions of Harrison County that will be in effect until 5:15 as that storm system makes its way north by Omaha. They've actually chipped away at the area by Crawford, so make sure you stay weather aware. Back to you, Travis.
All right, thanks, Victor. Well, a big protest took place today in Washington, D.C. outside the U.S. Department of Education. Demonstrators gathered to protest mass firings and what some are calling a plan to dismantle the department. KCAU-9 Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson has more.
Chants filled the air outside of the Department of Education Friday after recent mass firings.
We have career public servants who have had their livelihoods stolen, not because of performance, but because of vengeance.
Portia Allen Kyle was one of the advocates pushing back against President Trump's plan to dismantle the federal education system. The Trump administration argues that moving federal education dollars to the states will improve teaching and learning.
What is going to happen to after-school program? What is going to happen to breakfast after the bell? Hungry kids can't learn. Hawaii
Democratic Senator Mazie Hirono rallied against the move.
When we don't have an educated population, I think that anybody can figure out, well, that's not going to be good for our economy and it's not going to be good for our communities.
Republicans largely support the president's plan, saying it will give states more control over education.
It will be better for the local educator, the local principal, the local county board.
West Virginia Republican Senator Shelley Moore Capito reassures parents federal funding will still be available for low-income families and students with disabilities.
The federal support will be there in terms of dollars. It's just that the bureaucracy will not be present here in Washington.
The Department of Education says it will continue to support underserved communities. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson.
Back in Iowa, a large crowd also protested federal cuts to the Department of Veterans Affairs outside the State House in Des Moines. It was a nationwide push for veterans and advocates to highlight the impact cuts could have on our military members. The Trump administration's DOGE department cut thousands of jobs from the VA and say more layoffs are looming. Veterans say the quality of their health care will suffer with these cuts. The protesters say the Trump administration has gone too far.
I don't know, just the gut-wrenching disgustingness of watching what he is doing in the White House, what he's doing to our Constitution, what he's doing to our fellow veterans, what he's doing to the immigrant community, what he's doing just to the people in general. Right now, he's doing everything he can to destroy everything that our country has built over the last several generations.
The VA is also a major employer of veterans. Well, a South Dakota Amber Alert that was issued overnight has now been canceled. Sioux Falls police say the child that was kidnapped was found unharmed just before 2 this afternoon. 2 people have been arrested for abuse or cruelty to a minor in connection to the kidnapping. Officials say that 29-year-old Lilana Sitting Up of Sioux Falls is still wanted. She is being accused of first-degree kidnapping and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The investigation is still ongoing. A bill that passed through the South Dakota House and Senate would legalize carrying concealed firearms inside bars. The Argus Leader reports that lawmakers voted this week to amend House Bill 1218. The legislation would allow people to carry guns anywhere that earns more than half of its income from the sale of alcoholic beverages. The legislation now moves to Governor Roden's desk to be signed into law. Exactly 6 years ago today, a Nebraska dam collapsed, causing many to be evacuated and killing one person. On the early morning of March 14, 2019, the Spencer Dam in Boyd County failed after a storm created a raging flood of ice chunks on the Niobrara River. Kenny Angel, who lived just beneath the dam, died when the flood washed away his home. Now, Angel's body has never been found. And the Morningside University Agricultural Department and Iowa State Extension and Outreach collaborated to hold the first She Grows event at Epley Auditorium today. Designed for women in all areas of agriculture, She Grows is a celebration of strength and resilience of women in the agricultural industry and a way for students to connect, learn, and be inspired by industry peers. A staff member at Morningside told KCAU that this event is a great way to continue to spread the need for agriculture in Iowa.
Siouxland really is founded in agriculture. You look around and it's cattle and corn, and we're very proud of the history that we have, and we want Siouxland agriculture to continue to grow and thrive. So it's really important for us to invest in inspiring and sharing knowledge with each other.
Morningside plans to make this an annual event. Well, a clinic in Mobile is changing its locations, but still staying in city limits. Mercy One Mobile Family Medicine at 410 Main Street is officially moving to 631 Frontage Road starting Monday, March 17th. Patients who visit the clinic will still receive the same care with the same providers. Hours will also remain the same at the new clinic. It's open 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. While on Thursdays, the clinic is only open from 8 a.m. until noon. Well, with March Madness less than a week away, Siouxland is getting ready to host its own basketball championship. The South Sioux City Chamber of Commerce hosted a coffee hour Friday morning at the Tyson Event Center as a way to welcome the NAIA Women's Basketball Tournament. This will be Sioux City's 28th year hosting the tournament, and NAIA officials believe the Tyson to be the right spot for the tournament.
We've had some phenomenal tournaments in here with some big crowds, loud, high energy, buzzer beaters, all those things from start to finish. It's just the perfect venue.
This year's tournament gets underway this Thursday, March 20th, and finishes with the championship game on the 25th. Well, South Sioux City officials want to inform folks that the upcoming railroad crossing closure has been pushed back. The city of South Sioux City says that the crossing on West 29th Street will now be closed from March 31st until April 4th. The closure will allow officials to make some railroad repairs.